All right, everyone knows there's a shrimp opener coming up, and preparing to get everything ready for that opener, I want to give you some ideas of how to find the right habitat on your charts that spot shrimp can be found in great abundance. I'm going to look at some stuff in Puget Sound to really help us figure that out. All right, so let's start in the South Sound. I've done a lot of shrimping in the South Sound, and just one little thing here. So I'm looking at Vashon Island here in the south, Quartermaster Harbor. You can see the depth on here is what's showing up as I move this around, right? You can see that? Okay, so shrimp, they're gonna prefer depths that are 250 feet to 300, sometimes 325, changes throughout the day based on the sunlight level. They're gonna prefer to be on a slope. So I look for shallow areas with that preferred depth, going down to deeper areas that are maybe 400, 500 deep, and that's where I'm gonna target them. They are also gonna look for places with current that is reduced. These critters aren't moving around a whole lot when the current's ripping, so they're gonna prefer places where they got more time to feed on lower amounts of current, and you can see that in the charts and different places where current is broken up. So one of these is, we're looking at Quartermaster Harbor here. See, as I'm moving this down, you could see the depth changes from 200, 250, 300, all the way down to 500. This slope right here is a place to target spot shrimp. Another good spot here. This is Tramp Harbor on the northern side, eastern side of Vashon Island, which actually did better last year in terms of the numbers compared to Quartermaster Harbor. But look at this right here. I like this spot right here where this slope, it's just kind of like this indent in the chart, indicating to me that the current's going to be a little bit broken up. It's kind of a hole that gives these spot shrimp a little bit of protection. So I'm liking the way that this slope looks right here. You see, it goes down to 300 feet. Another spot on Vashon Island we can talk about is it's a classic here, which is Dolphin Point here on the northeast side. And all this water here, these slopes here, they go from, let's see here, they go from 200, 100, they go down to 270, 300, 325, all this, see this? All this is gonna be productive, good shrimping. We've got a ton of shrimp there. But last year, Bainbridge Island also did really well. Let's take a look at another little harbor area here on Bainbridge Island. Zoom out a little bit, here we go. So here, there's Blakely Rock, right? Look at this little spot right here. 270, 280, 300. You know, I'm liking this slope here on the south side of Bainbridge. There's a lot of this along Bainbridge Island. It's ideal slopes here. That look like they could, look at this little spot here, this little indent here, this little slope, 250, right? 290, 300. I don't know, I'm liking these spots. I haven't done as much shrimping on Bainbridge Island. These are the kind of places that shrimp are gonna like to hang out in. Here we go, here's the main slope. Here's another good little spot right here. Look at this little indent right here. Goes 250, 300, 400. I'm gonna like shrimping there as well. Another place that did really well last year is Elliott Bay. Look at this, you go maybe further south in Elliott Bay and there's a lot of flat 200, 250. I'm gonna ignore that if I'm going to Elliott Bay. Maybe this area here, this little spot right here. I'm not too familiar with the shipping in Elliott Bay, so you gotta watch out for that. But I like this north side of Elliott Bay where it drops down like this into the 300s on this nice slope here, 250 down to 350 right there. All right, we can go to the North Sound. Again, lots of spots on Bainbridge Island. On the North Sound, tons of people will be out shrimping. There's some classic spots here as well. I mean, look at this off of Richmond Beach here. Look at this, 250, 300, 350, look at these slopes. Perfect, ideal spots there. And of course, one of the well-known spots here is gonna be Browns Bay. Look at Browns Bay right here. Nice, little protected. Some of these areas, North Sound, as you get towards Possession Sound, you get these currents that counter each other. And so on certain currents, you can have a lot of low amounts of water moving. And And I'm liking these spots for shrimping. They put a lot shrimp in people's pots here in the North Sound, Possession Sound, Area 81, 82, 9, all good spots. If you're going to the Strait, you got to use more weight. There's going to be more current in the Strait, and you got to watch that. Some spots, if you were going out of John Wayne Marina, you know, a lot of these spots here, you got to watch it. This is big water. We'll make sure you got weather on in your favor. But you know, some of these spots here, look at this, look at these slopes here down to 300, these little drop-offs right here, that'll put shrimp in your pot. These spots right here, these little slopes, look at this, 300, go 100 down to 350, good little spots there. Dallas Bank, if you can get in the middle of the Strait, Eastern Bank has put some shrimp out for sure. Look at this, 200 down to 300 on the southeast corner. Right there, that's a spot. There's a lot of spots in the San Juan Islands. There's a lot of spots in the Straits. There's more openings in those places too. So a lot of places to shrimp. Yeah, you can just follow everyone where the yellow buoys are. Learn the habitat, learn how to study the charts, figure out where the shrimp like to hold, and plan your trip around that. Maybe go out, venture out a little bit beyond where you've been before, and see if you can't get those easy limits of spot shrimp. Tastiest critters in Puget Sound, I think. Just fantastic. Okay, something that's a really good idea to do before opening day is you want to get all your gear out, make sure it's in good working order, so there's no surprises, right? You don't want to be getting your gear out Tuesday night right before the opener and figuring out, oh crap, this thing's got to get replaced, or I'm missing this, or you know, it was like a year ago since you shrimp last, right? So, so one thing I'm doing in my garage here is I'm just laying out all my gear, just checking it. So, can kind of look at what what I've got going on with my rigging here, right? We've got the pot. I've got a quick link stainless steel, and I've got a C-link, and my pot harness, right? Just gotta throw my bait canister in here. That's good to go. And I got my coils of rope. I've been using these awesome garden hose reels to store two 400 feet shots of rope, and I mount them on my Scotty downrigger mounts, and they work great for line management. SMI actually has a coiler device you can buy as well. Get places like John's Sporting Goods that give you the same benefit of line management. You don't have to make it yourself, but it's pretty slick how this works. So, all right, looking at this, take a look at what we're doing here is just these C-links work great, right? Put them together, you know, you're done. Take them apart, pretty simple. All right, now I got this, pull my 400 feet of rope. And all right, now let's pretend for a second that we got 400 feet of rope out, and we're on the other end of this. We've dropped it down, and now we're on the other side where we're gonna connect this to our buoy system. I got the snap here, and I can connect this easily to the C-links on the other side of this line, and that is gonna hold really well, and I'll be able to get my gear back, no problem. I've got my buoy stick here, yellow buoys, part of the requirement. I'm putting something like a flag or something on the other end of this, because you're gonna see dozens of these buoy sticks that look identical, and you don't want to waste time looking for your stuff. You want to be able to grab it really fast. All right, there's the other side. There's this rope handle thing, part of the buoy stick, and I use an insurance buoy, which I connect as I'm dropping my stuff over, and here's my insurance buoy. I like to use the insurance buoy versus just one big float because I don't want that float pulling my gear, bouncing it around on the bottom because the flotation's too strong. So I use two different systems here. I've had it happen where my buoy stick gets pulled under. The only thing is showing this, and I don't lose my pot. I still get it back. And that's worked out really, really well. Another thing I'll do on the line, about 10-15 feet, you know, assume that's connected, about 10-15 feet up the line as I'm dropping it down, is I've got this pod anchor. Pod anchor gonna help my pot stay in place, and it's also gonna help. It's gonna help keep my pot. This pot anchor is gonna help keep my float. This pot anchor is gonna help keep my pot from getting bounced around from what's happening on the surface. It's an extra form of security. I like to keep my gear in place, keep it fishing really well. And what I do is I got maybe 10, 15 feet of line with the pot overboard dropping down, and I got this snap, and as it's going down, I'm just grabbing the line like so, and bam, I've got my pot anchor attached, and we're in business. We're fishing, and I just make sure toss this down, expand it, and make sure it doesn't hit the side of my boat. So it's really helpful to run through all your gear ahead of time. You want to be making your bait probably 24 hours in advance, letting it soak, letting the pellets soak. I got my pellets, my mackerel, and my shrimp oil all gonna be mixed together in a yummy, tasty concoction that shrimp are not gonna be able to refuse. Well, hope you have a successful shrimping opener and rest of the shrimp season. Good luck out there, stay safe.